All right, my guy, let's talk about quitting med school. Something I wanted to do at one point, something many of you might go through. You're at a low point, you're in third year or fourth year, you've done 15 hours, or you're in a rotation that you just hate, and you look on Instagram or you look on Facebook or you watch a YouTube video where someone's like, I quit medicine, I'm doing something else, I'm a crypto this, I'm a content creator, and they're living their best life. So I'm going to tell you, there's a friend of mine. Uh, he graduated undergrad before me, got into med school, did 4 years of med school, and then didn't do residency. Took step 1 and 2. I think he took step 3. He's got an MD, didn't do residency, and decided, I'm going to travel, I'm going to trade stocks. And every now and then I would see him posting trips: Thailand, the Middle East, Morocco, Europe, Japan, China, Singapore. And he's telling me about his adventures. Sometimes I talk to him on the phone and he's like, my stocks are doing well, whatever, life is good. You go on YouTube, someone else quit. Okay? And I'm seeing this friend of mine, he's posting on Instagram pictures of Japan, pictures of China, and I'm just like, man, in the middle of my rotation, sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, like, I need to quit too, you know? There's so many opportunities out there. I'm wasting my life over here. Look how much hours I'm putting in. If I was doing that for something else, it would be so fruitful. Okay? Well, let me tell you, okay? I'm so glad that I did not quit med school. I'm so glad that I finished 1 year of residency. The job that I have now is so sweet. It's so flexible. I can travel. I can take off when I want. Being a doctor and graduating, you're in demand, you're wanted, okay? And you're going to have the opportunity to travel and do other things. It's just the rotations when you're in clinicals and when you're a resident, that's tough. And it makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like you're wasting your time, or maybe it's not as productive as you like, but you should not quit. Because you think the grass is greener, but it's just artificial turf. What do I mean by that? So these people that quit and they do something else, you don't know their life, okay? You're seeing them on Instagram, you're seeing them on YouTube, these YouTube gurus. Oh, I quit medicine, I'm doing something else. Well, maybe one, their YouTube channel is doing so well that they have passive income from it, or they start something else like Med School Insiders or whatever. Okay, they start a whole new business which takes so much time and investment. So it's not just like you snap your fingers, you quit, you find another job, end of story. Okay, the other thing is, you don't know if they have inheritance, if their parents are helping them, if they're taking loans, if they're using interest, if they're in debt. You don't know anything. You just see the highlight. I quit med school. I'm so happy. I'm free. I can travel now. I'm camping. I'm doing this. This same friend of mine who quit med school, who was like trading stocks and I thought was doing well, I call him on the phone 3 months ago, and he's living in Japan. Okay, he's been in Japan now for 6 months. Like 6 months out of the year he lives in Japan, he says. The other 6 months he lives in the United States. I was like, well, what's so special about Japan? What do you like about it? You like the culture or something? He said to me, it's just too expensive to live in the United States. Can you believe that? Hit me like a slap in the face. I was like, what? What's this guy talking about? That's how bad his situation is, okay? He's like, okay, I come to the United States 6 months out of the year. What does he do? He drives for Uber. Oh man, okay. I'm over here thinking, oh my God, I'm missing out. Man, being a doctor, so much work. I could do something else. There's so many other easier professions out there. Okay, dude, what's the plan? Oh, I'm going back to school for a master's. All right. I literally and I talked to him. I thought about it for like a week. I talked to him a week later for like an hour. I was like, man, you gotta just do 1 year of residency, do a transitional year, do a family med thing, work in urgent care. You work 2-3 days a week. You make a couple $1,000s, and then you go travel, man. But like, you're over here, and he's still young. He's like in his early 30s. So all I want to tell you is, when you're a med student, for your first 2 years of med school, it should be sweet. You're making your own schedule. You're studying from home. You got weekends off. You basically have Friday afternoons off. I mean, if your first 2 years of med school are anxiety filled and you're thinking of quitting, then you're not doing it right. Okay? You just need to calm down. It's not that serious. It's books. You can be in your pajamas. Everything's virtual these days. You show up like every 2 weeks for an exam. I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, if you're struggling there, you gotta call me. You like definitely shouldn't be struggling first 2 years of med school with your happiness and thinking of quitting. Now, your third and fourth year, okay, especially your third year, it's the worst because you're basically just shadowing and you're spending still 8 to 10 hours a day in the hospital shadowing, and you know you just feel useless and you're just like, what am I even doing here? Okay, or you're just writing notes as you're acting as a scribe. You don't even know what's going on, and it takes you so much energy and effort. And my lowest point was my pediatrics rotation. We had COVID clinic. We had to go in double glove, double gown, wear 2 masks, sanitize everything before to go see a kid who had a cough and evaluate for everything from URI to like bronchitis to asthma to COPD in these like kids. And my attending was so anal and I almost quit. I remember, and we would go into these rooms, two, 3 kids at a time. I'd have to write notes till like 8 p.m. I was like, is this gonna be the rest of my life? I thought about quitting med school that day for like weeks until I reached out to someone who changed my perspective. Okay, so that's third year, fourth year. All right, now in residency, you're not gonna want to quit as much because even though you're putting in the hours, you're useful, you're a doctor, and that brings your confidence up and you have something to look forward to, and you're interacting with the attendings in a different way, and you're actually making a difference with the patients. So it gets better, all right? But all I want to tell you is if you think of quitting, the other thing is too, here's this. You probably don't have another skill set, okay? If you're someone who's been content creating for 2 years or 3 years, or you have another business or you have a family connection or something, all right, you go into it. But if you're some regular Joe like me, you know, I wasted my life preparing for med school. I got into med school. I mean, what do I have? I don't have another skill set, okay? So don't think that it's just so easy. You really have to reflect and evaluate before you just quit. So probably most of you aren't going to quit. People don't usually do it, right? People think about it. No one ever actually takes any real action in life. But the reason for this video is not to steer you away from quitting. I mean, if you're set on quitting, you're going to quit. But at least if you're staying in, like I did, it's to empower you and say it's really not that bad, and don't have this depressed mentality for 2 years of med school thinking, oh, I could have been something else. Because yeah, that could be true, but being a doctor and actually working and being fee for service in this gap year that I have, it's so sweet, okay? And all of the things that you hated about med school and about residency, it's fun to make money. And when you're making money and you're gonna have a huge earning potential later, it's gonna be all worth it, I promise you.